everybody.
What's up, guys?
We got a power rankings video for week 1
In the bag.
in the bag, and we have a
exciting stuff has
special
happened.
guest. Yeah, we've got a special guest, Lanky Paul, the lankiest Paul in the land.
Very lanky.
Very lanky.
Thank you for having me for the coveted week 1 spot here.
Dude, I'm excited to have you on the show, Sean. He's the coach of the Edmonton Ice Qs. I, of course, have our little buddy Flygon right here. And we're here to just kind of recap the first week, what happened, and then kind of give an overview of kind of where everybody sits in the list of 14 teams. We had 6 coaches from season 1 vote after all the games were done for the week on who they thought was in the best spot, all the way down from 1 to 14. And we're just going to talk about that as we go, and we'll do a little reveal as we go through the list.
Sounds good.
The game scores are on the screen below us in the nice little U shape, and we'll just kind of briefly talk about each one, starting with the Jamestown Judgment playing Sean actually in the Edmonton Ice Qs.
Yeah.
Jamestown came away with a 3-0 victory. Sean, do you want to kind of talk about how that game went?
Yeah. So it started out pretty strong. There was a little bit of I was a little bit late to the match, and I'll give Noah his credit. He did use the time very productively. Got a nice little extra prep time in there. He knew I was going to bring the prankster double screens, and he played around it very well. But much like when I played him last time, I'm going to come back and get that rematch. You know?
Heck yeah, man. Looking forward to
playoffs. I'm excited to see what he continues to do, because he's starting out strong.
Definitely,
for season 2 here.
The brick break on the Metagross to deal with the screens, I thought was a really cool bring. And then, he had some other good offensive threats that I think were just a little harder for your team to deal with. But I mean, I think also, like, you didn't play terrible. I think it was one of the more evenly matched games. There were a couple of lopsided victories, we'll talk about in a little bit, but
I'm excited to talk about some of those.
Yeah, it was fun to kind of watch, like, your guys' 2 teams go at it, playing around some of Noah's threats, and just being able to have a pretty even game overall. The second match down here, the Machokes versus the Battle Monsters. Unfortunately, that was a forfeit win for Nate and the Machoke Me Daddies. Not much to say there. Hopefully, both Nate and Cannon will get a game in next week.
Yeah,
and we can have a full list of 7 games. Moving on, the Tyrannosaurus Rex beat the Western Warriors 4-0. The big thing about this one, and the thing that I've got the kill sheet listed up right here. The Tyrannosaurus Rex and Ruben. Goudra got 3 kills, and the Braviary, I think, was like one of the difference makers.
Yeah, honestly, it's a good, like, versatile pick that he brought, honestly, with the Braviary. I didn't expect the Goudra to get that many kills, though.
I know, yeah. I used it primarily on my team in season 1, more defensively, but I think Ruben was really able to show, like, it gets so much good coverage. It can really be an offensive threat if you're not ready for it. And Western Warriors, unfortunately, the Salamence couldn't carry it far enough. We saw Crocodile being dealt with really well, and Tangrowth playing kind of a lesser role. So a really good game for Ruben, and Jack, I think, will maybe bounce back.
Oh, yeah.
Next up on the list is our good buddy Garrett and the Kalamazoo Raichu beating Dylan and the Chaffron Shuckles 2-0. Sean, have you seen this game? What did you think about Garrett and Dylan so far?
I did. This is one of the few ones I did see. I thought the stall out they had between the Clefairy and the Dusclops it was very funny to watch. Garrett was kind of just like throwing it in there. It's a really cool idea for sure for the moveset, but I don't think he planned for him to bring Unaware. I think he's used to bringing Magic Guard, because I feel like most of the time that is like what someone would prep for. especially with his team, because like why would you go power up punch, right? But I love the out of the box thinking that Garrett has come to be known by. So I'm interesting to see what he does for the rest of the season as well.
Definitely.
As well as the Shuckles, because I feel like if they have like a more kind of like, I guess, less niche lineup, I feel like Shuckles will be able to know how to deal with it a lot better. So it'll be interesting to see what they can do too.
Definitely. Yeah, I think Dylan's team looks really good on paper. But I think just kind of some of the execution, unfortunately, I just don't think he had enough time to really, get the Arcanine involved. The Decidueye was kind of sacked off and didn't really get a chance to even show its offensive power. So I think, the Duraludon, obviously scary. Rotom Wash is always going to be good. But yeah, I think Garrett just was a little bit better, and like you said, out of the box thinking, and could be scary as we go through the season.
He's a crafty guy.
Yeah, I'm glad they are both in Division 2, so we don't have to play them.
I have to play them.
Yeah, you have to play them. I don't have to play them, which is good. Next up, our most lopsided game of the week, the Pikachus and the Gatosk Del Diablo. And Caleb comes away with a 5-0 win here.
Yeah, what exactly happened in that game?
So we didn't actually get a replay for this, so I don't know for sure.
Okay.
But if we look at the kill sheet and some of the things that we can see from this game, Magnezone got 5 kills and just was able to sweep Harry's team.
Jesus.
So it's just scary. Gardevoir went down without a kill. Landorus T went 1-1. So pretty even there. But it was just kind of unfortunate that we don't know more about this game and we aren't able to see the full story, because I think
did they post a team?
I don't believe so. I'm looking at the division sheet with the scores or the kill ratio. So Harry brought Latias, Gyarados, Alakazam, Excavalier, Comfey, and Exploud. Exploud was the one on Harry's team that did pick up a kill on either Gardevoir or Landorus Therian. And it just looks like Magnezone was able to kind of rip through. I guess if you think about kind of the move pool, Thunderbolt kills Gyarados, Comfey goes down to a Flash Cannon, so those are two pretty easy, things.
Yeah, he's got a good amount of coverage there. And then he can tank a few hits too, right?
Yeah, the Alakazam might have, that's a little bit more frail. Latias, if it wasn't defensive, might have had a little trouble. So I think we can... I would have loved to see this game, and I've got big expectations for both Harry and Caleb this year, just to see kind of how they play as people in the draft league. Caleb being new, Harry coming back from season 1. I think Harry was really on a tear towards the end of last season, and I think I really hope that he can bring it and turn it around. So. And then we get to my game this week, the 1-0 victory for the Fargo Flygons over the Bug Catchers, coached by Quincy. I should not have won this game.
You think?
I should not have won this game. Quincy's prep was out of this world. For reference, I brought the Rain with Pelipper and Kingdra. Kingdra being my sweeper and one of my win conditions, and to deal with my Kingdra, who had Rain up and had the Life Orb and was like one-shotting almost everything on his team, he brought the Habenberry on his Latios, which takes super effective damage from Dragon-type moves.
That's interesting. That's crafty.
Yeah, the Latios comes in, and Kingdra had just picked up 1 kill on the Shuckle, actually, and the Latios switches in. I'm thinking, okay, Ice Beam doesn't kill here. It does like 85 to 90%, kind of depending on HP investment and some other things. But Draco Meteor was doing 140%. So it was crazy. Guaranteed OCO. And then that Habenberry pops, he took 70%.
Ooh.
And then just one shot me back with his own Draco. So it was really, really good prep. Stopped Kingdra cold.
That's Galaxy Brain plays right there. That's Mega Mind level. Mega Mind level.
And he ran a really cool Terrakion set with Endure, Rock Polish, and Reversal. Like just really cool
Ooh,
things. I had
that is really
priority
cool.
on my side, and a really bulky Kinkelder, which helped in the end. But Quincy definitely deserves all the praise in the world for this 1-0 loss, as
Oh, for
much as I
sure.
do for wiggling out and getting the 1-0 win. And then finally, our last game of this week is the Kingdras against DJ's team, the Laughlin Laurantis. That was a 3-0 victory, and really Peyton's Obstagoon came through and just was really a thorn in DJ's side.
Oh, he did more than just obstruct the move. He obstructed.
That is very true.
Oh yeah.
The Obstagoon went 5-0 and was able to just kind of, guts boosted attack all the way through DJ's team, and the way things were built, the Jolteon getting some chip damage and actually picking up a kill also for Peyton.
Yeah.
Mandibuzz and Weezing coming in playing really good defense. DJ just couldn't really find an answer to the Obstagoon. So
Yeah, well, like once the guts boost is there too, it's just such a scary thing to deal with, right? Like not much you can't do much other than try to get like a faster kill on it.
yep, exactly.
Yeah.
So really cool bring by Peyton, and a really convincing win over last season's champion. So props to Peyton for starting things off right, and I'm sure DJ will bounce back no problem. So
Oh, he's gonna have a vendetta now. It's gonna be interesting to see the rematch when it inevitably probably happens.
oh man, I know it. So let's get into the power rankings actually for this week. Starting with number 14, we have the Battle Monsters taking the forfeit loss. So they are 0-1. Unfortunately, didn't get to watch them play, so we don't really know much more than that. And in rank 13, the Machoke Me Daddies from Nate getting that 1-0 forfeit win.
Yeah.
Again, it's hard to give them bonus points to go higher up the ladder when they didn't play the game. So we'll give the victory to the 13 spot and the loss to 14. And now here's kind of where we get into some more of like the debate, if you will. In number 12, we have the Gatosk Del Diablo. So that's Harry's team. Again, Harry had that loss to the Pikachus,
Yeah.
and Caleb. So a pretty good victory for Caleb. Some unfortunate stuff happening for Harry. I think, like I said, Harry, I think, has one of the potentials to bounce back the best. But moving into next week, it'll be interesting to see kind of where Caleb lands, getting the win.
I really want to see what he does going forward.
Yeah,
Honestly, it's gonna be really
exactly.
interesting.
And I think that's like a huge confidence boost too, to come in and get a 5-0 win in your first week playing.
Oh yeah.
So I think watching the Pompous Pikachus will be kind of fun this year.
They're gonna be one to watch for sure.
Exactly, yeah. So in number 11, right after Harry, is the Western Warriors. That's Jack losing 4-0 to the Tyrannosaurus Rex and Ruben. One of the games that Gudra being able to pick up some kills and I think there were some definite misplays on Jack's part. Going for moves that had no effect, like some bug type move, or some ghost type moves on a normal type Pokemon.
Eh?
Yeah, just a couple of slips, not the cleanest gameplay, but definitely like room to grow. Definitely, it's hard to make big predictions and big judgment calls after just one game. But definitely some like easy areas to get some improvement.
Plus, it's the first match, right?
Yeah,
Like we still got the rest of the season ahead of us.
Exactly.
I feel like he'll be one to watch. I'm thinking he'll be one of the sleepers.
Absolutely. Well, and I think just like the offensive potential for his team, Salamence and Crocodile, and honestly,
He's got so much to just Moxie sweep with. Like
Durant,
it's ridiculous.
he's got threats on his team, and I think if he can kind of just clean up the gameplay and maybe slow down a little bit, I think he'll be definitely able to climb the ranks.
Oh, definitely.
And the 10th spot, we have the Edmonton Ice Cubes and yourself. Just kind of
Yours
give us a headspace from Sean.
So we're starting off a little rocky, like we did in season 1 there. But you know what? That's okay, because if there's one thing that I'm good at, is bringing a good underdog story to life. We've learned from the draft. Fallings was not the choice. You know, we traded him off, picked up Excelgor. So I think moving forward, your boy's going to prep a little bit better, make sure to show up on time. Because we've seen how much an extra hour can really help someone prep. But yeah, so moving forward, we're just looking forward to have fun. You know, we're going to try to do our best. And then when we inevitably face Garrett, we're going to show him who the real Canadian is here.
The real winners in Winnipeg.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Number 9, we have DJ, the Laughlin Laurantis. Like I said, you know, losing to Peyton in the first game, I think is like, take it what you will. I think that was more of a DJ's team just kind of sucks, and Peyton's team's pretty good. But I think, you know, DJ's got the potential. Obviously, the season 1 champion. He's got the brain power and like the creativity and just like the knowledge in like how to set up a good battle team.
For sure.
I think he can climb out of the bottom half pretty easily, and he'll be one to definitely watch for this coming week. And definitely moving forward as well. I think his week 2 opponent is Cannon. So hopefully they get to play that out and we can see what Cannon's got.
That'll be interesting.
And, you know, if DJ can bounce back.
Maybe he'll get that forfeit win.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Maybe. We'll see. In number 8 spot, the last one in the bottom half, we have the Pompous Pikachus and Caleb. I think one of the reasons why he's so low necessarily on this on the score sheet on the power rankings is because you know, the matchup with Harry was a little bit lopsided. And when you have one Pokemon that can get 5 kills, it's pretty one-dimensional as far as the game goes. There's not a lot of thinking or like, you know, in-depth strategy that you have to really compare to some of the teams that were in the top half. And it's tough. There's 14 really good teams, and really like you have to play at the top of your game every week to be able to crack into the top 10, into the playoff race. Right now, it's looking like, you know, finishing in the top 3 in each division is going to be extremely hard. Win differential is going to be really, really important. But Caleb is in first place overall as far as record and win differential goes. So maybe 8th is doing him a little dirty, but we'll have to see what the coming weeks provide as far as like a true estimate of where his team is at.
For sure. We don't necessarily know like what he did to get such a lopsided victory, right? So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Like, just kind of like, I'll watch. He'll be the first game I watch, I think, for week 2. We'll see.
Absolutely. Yeah. Hopefully
you got some fans already, buddy.
Yeah. Hopefully we can get a replay so that we can kind of critique him a little bit more and maybe give him some more bonus points.
Yeah, that's true. A little bit more praise for the Pompous Pikachus.
Exactly. Busting out into the first slot in the top half is the Saffron Shuckles and Dylan. I said it in the draft review. I think Dylan's team is like in the top 4. I think he drafted a really great team. I think part of Dylan's thing, even from season 1, was just like not thinking things through all the way, you know, being a little bit rushed.
He's definitely quick on the trigger. On the trigger.
And I think, you know, he's definitely leaps and bounds ahead of where he was at the start of last season.
Totally.
He also played the season 1 runner-up in Garrett. So like a 2-0 loss to last season's number 2 team. Nothing to scoff at. So I think
it speaks volumes, honestly, especially considering from where he was like in season 1, like the amount of growth this guy has shown as a trainer is huge, absolutely huge. So he's going to be interesting to see too, actually, like what he can do this season, especially with the draft.
Yeah, and our first team in the top half that actually has a losing record. So there will be, spoiler alert, there will be another team up here in the top half with a losing record. And rightly so, because just of how they played and the way things happened out with week 1. Number 6 is the TRex Rex, Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Love that name. It's so clever.
It is good. Ruben's win over the Western Warriors, like we said. There were a couple blunders on Jack's part with the Western Warriors. Ruben was able to capitalize on that and get a win. So he's in the 6th spot at nothing to worry about. Has a good differential for week 2, or like moving into week 2. I think he is actually in 2nd place overall in the overall standings. So props to Ruben, and a good ranking in the power rankings for week 1. In 5th place is Quincy and the Bug Catchers. Like I said, our game, his prep was so good.
I'm really excited, actually, after hearing that prep with the Barry.
I think an 0-1 team in the top 5, I think, is absolutely acceptable. In my personal power ranking, I put him ahead of me. And I think he had the better team, and I got lucky and was able to kind of weasel my way out. But I think the Bug Catchers are going to make some noise. They're in the number 1 position for the wild card spot right now. And I think, like, if I definitely think after the first week, looking at Division 1, it is pretty stacked. And I think him being in 4th place in that division is, next week he could be in 1st place. Who knows? It's really
we've seen the prep, right? Like with the Barry you were saying with the
Terrakion set.
Yeah, like that was just like some that's so out of the blue. So like it's going to be interesting to see what people playing against him will have to do, and like what he's going to think to kind of like counteract and get in their head. So it'll be really interesting to see what they do going forward. He's actually one of the ones I'm really excited to see in this league now after hearing that. That's so like big brain of him.
Yeah, huge. And that's like, it just rises everybody's gameplay, because you have to know that like he's going to bring out of the box stuff. And you're going to have to be even more on your A game than before.
He's in our division too, eh?
Yeah. Yep. He is in Division 1 with you and me.
Lovely.
In number 4's slot, that's me, the Fargo Flygons, that narrow victory over Quincy. I think the thing that holds me back is, one, I definitely got out prepped. And definitely, the 3 teams that are ahead of me, it's obvious reasons why. They're all really, really good teams and played really well in week 1. I think, for me personally, if we can end up in kind of that middle half, top of the pack, I'm in 6th place overall right now. And I think, if I can hover between 6th and 4th, that's kind of where I think from week to week that I'm going to be. And if we can crack into the top 3, that would be awesome. But I'm just going to kind of put in the work every week and see what happens.
You got to shoot for the stars, buddy.
Absolutely.
I think I put you in the top 3 on my power rankings, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Much love, my dude. And number 3 is Garrett in the Kalamazoo Raichu. Played a really good game against Dylan. Was able to... The Dusclops set was really cool, out of the box thinking. Really cool. And I definitely think like Garrett is still bringing it every week, and he's definitely going to be one that's going to stay in that top 3 most likely, and be someone that you have to bring your A game. You have to think as weirdly and as creatively as him, and even then it's going to be a coin flip on who can win.
Oh yeah, well I know he's putting in a lot of work too, just even for his week 2 match here, because he was telling me a little bit about it. I won't go into detail because
no spoilers
at all, but it's gonna be pretty interesting. And I think he's really like fiending for that win after running up in season 1, so I'm gonna be really excited to see what he does.
Definitely. In the number 2 spot, just barely, we actually had a tie for 1st place, and it came down to 1st place votes. The Jamestown Judgment coming in with 2 of 6 1st place votes. So they are in the 2nd position this week. Noah, the really good win over the Edmonton Ice-Qs, using his prep time, like we said, bringing things like Brick Break, making sure that his team is ready for whatever he's doing. And I think he's got threats on that team that from week to week are going to put him in a position to win, and then being able to just convert that really good prep and the really solid baseline into wins will kind of be the determining factor on if he stays at the top of the list here or if he falls a little bit.
He's pretty good at like kind of figuring out beforehand too, like what someone's going to do. And he's good at implementing like countermeasures in a pretty crafty way. Cause like we were saying with the brick break, like I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I don't think anyone would have seen like that coming off on a Metagross.
Right.
So that like really caught me off guard, and I just like didn't know what to do after that. So it was really interesting to see for sure.
Definitely. And that leaves in first position, we have the Kindred Kingdras and Peyton. A 3-0 win with an Obstoon that goes 5-0 on the defending season champion. I think speaks to the potential here, and he only used 4 of his 6 Pokemon that actually, you know, were in the game or got kills and saw action. So I think Peyton is setting the tempo as far as the expectation for these new teams that are coming in to season 2, and I think, you know, rightly deserves. He got 4 of the total 6 first place votes. So definitely more than one person thinks that he deserves that number 1 spot, and he's the team to watch moving into week 2.
Oh yeah, he's earned I think a lot of like eyes are on him now, especially too after seeing like what he's been able to pull off, like even before like doing the official match with the baton pass there. It's just really crafty thinking and just like using things to implement it and just kind of like super stack it. So it'll be really interesting to see what he can like mid-max going forward.
Definitely. Well, that does it. You have our list, just the final rundown. In first place, power rankings, not official standings. Rankings, we have the Kindred Kingdras, number 2, Jamestown Judgment, followed by Kalamazoo, Fargo, the Bug Catchers, Tyrannosaurus Rex, Saffron Shuckles, the Pikachus, Lurantis, Ice-Cues, Warriors, Gatos del Diablo, Machoke, and finally Battle Monsters. Sean, anything to add before we close and wrap up the video?
Not that I can think of. Only that I'm coming for you in week 2, Ruben. So let's make it a good match, buddy.
There it is.
Yeah.
I think we can just leave it at that. Watch for week 2. Hope you enjoyed the video. We'll do these power rankings and hopefully have them up every Wednesday is the plan. The 6 coaches that submit our votes for the week have to get those votes in by Tuesday night at midnight, which gives us a day to record and kind of look over and get the averages taken care of. So watch on Wednesdays for the weekly power rankings video, and let's have a good week 2. Thanks everybody.
For sure.